Hey, Robert Tolnai here. It is Sunday evening happy hour. Thank you so much for watching this episode. I have an amazing treat for you tonight. This is an interview with one of my bestest, oldest friend ever since I've been in the United States. We met through gymnastics, and the path that we took at a young age was totally in different directions, and he has accomplished so much in the last 15 to 20 years. It's just incredible. I've been watching and been a part of it on and off with him. You'll see in the interview what I mean. And probably everything that I've learned in my real estate investment side of the business, I've learned from him. And it's just crazy what he has accomplished. So before the interview starts, I'm just give you some idea. You know, him, his wife, and I think they have 2 partners. They now have over 220 single family homes, rental properties. They've bought multiple apartments. They have 2 mobile home parks that generate crazy cash flow every month for them. They have over 10 billboards. They got involved with some partners and now own 2 hotels, and I think they're on the path of either buying or building a third one. They bought a property management company to manage all of these assets. So they're managing over 600 units through this property management company. So it's just insane, just crazy what they've done. And they're like the coolest, most humble people you'll ever meet. And their path hasn't been easy, but the goal of these interviews is exactly that, guys, just to show you that regular people like me and you can do whatever it is that you put your mind to. So if you feel like you're in a place where nothing's going to change, it's probably not, unless you get off your ass and do something different. You know, they had a plan from the beginning. They stuck to it. They knew what their goals were. They held on to their budget and made all this happen slowly. And then it just exploded, you know, a few years later when the time was right. But the beginning was not easy, but they will tell you is 1,000% worth it. So if you want to change the way things are going, you can do that, but you have to do something different than what you've been doing up till now. All right, so that's it. Without further ado, watch this episode. Please comment, let us know what you think, or if you have any questions about what he's doing, and we'll get back to you. Thanks so much. Have an awesome rest of your Sunday, and thanks again for watching. All right. Bye-bye. All right, so welcome back to another edition of Sunday Evening Happy Hour. I'm having a scotch. He's having a mule. I'll show you how I made that mule. If you want to see it, check out this video. Should be right over here or over here. Check it out. So this is a huge honor for me. This guy is my brother from another mother, and probably everything that I know about real estate, which is almost not even a compliment for you because I suck compared to how much he's accomplished and what he's done. So today he's going to share with you as much as we can share with you in the short time that we have, where he started, how he did it, and where he is today. You're going to poop your pants. You know, I can't use the language that I really want to use to explain what these guys have accomplished. Him and his wife, a couple of partners, 2, 3 partners. Hold on to your seats. You got to listen to everything he's got to tell you. And if you do a quarter of what he has accomplished, you're going to be way on the right path to wherever it is you want to end up. So, this is my brother from another mother, like I said, Jared Malone. We've known each other for?
Since we were 14, I guess. 14.
Holy crap. He is my oldest best friend since I landed in America. Because I can't say by boat because I landed. I took a plane. We've known each other since gymnastics, high school, Apollo High School. Couple of embarrassing moments that I have to share. He taught me how to use gel for my hair because I didn't know how to use gel or hairspray.
Is that true?
It is absolutely true. He taught me how to dress better. And you know, if I find the pictures, I'll post them below.
How's that possible? You dress way better than me.
Well, because I evolved a lot quicker because I cared about fashion. He cared about making money. So don't do what this guy did. Do what this guy did. All right, so let's get into it. All right, we're going to start way back then. So what I remember is you going off to the service right after high school. Came back, moved to San Diego with your amazing wife, Teresa. And that's when you started on this path. So when you came back from the service, where were you guys? Personally, financially, what did you have?
I went into the Navy thinking I wanted to be a doctor, and I was going to have the Navy pay for it. But when I realized that wasn't what I wanted to do, I started trying to figure out what I wanted to do, and I started reading a bunch of books, real estate books. I went to multiple seminars, just trying to educate myself, build my knowledge base, kind of get a basic plan of how I wanted to invest in real estate. So it was kind of a whirlwind. I mean, I spent quite a bit of money going to seminars and learning, and I did all kinds of crazy stuff, trying to do pre-foreclosures, trying to find good deals on houses, which in California was almost impossible.
I believe that, but let me stop you for a second because you said something huge that we talk about all the time. People don't realize the importance of it. If you caught it, he said he spent a shitload of money. Might not have used as bad language as I did, but he spent a lot of money on real estate seminars, on self-education, when you didn't have any money, right? I mean, this was coming back from the service, from Navy. You didn't have money, but you knew the value of spending money to get the education that we don't get anywhere else. Can you remember what something like that cost back then?
The most I spent on a seminar was $4,000, and I had to borrow half of it to go.
Boom, write that down. All right, so then you finally figured out that, or they told you what to do or how to find properties, and what did you do?
I learned a lot. I learned a ton, and I kind of figured out a strategy that I thought was going to work for me, that I liked, that fit my personality, made sense to me, and really that was the strategy is called wraparound loans. And
I remember that. I remember you telling me about that.
And in a nutshell, you're buying a property, hopefully undervalued or cheaper, and you're fixing up, adding value, and then you're selling it. You have an underlying mortgage. It's a lot like a rental property, but you're selling it. You're getting a larger down payment, and you're kind of wrapping one mortgage over the top of the other mortgages, and doing owner financing, rent to own, land contracts, contracts for deed, that type of strategy where you're getting a better tenant that are going to put more money down, longer term contracts where you have very little to no, after you sign the deal, no maintenance issues.
Nice.
So I like that strategy a lot, and so.
But this was still in California, or not yet?
I was living in California when I first learned about that strategy, and then when I got out of the Navy, my wife thought she wanted to be a chiropractor, so we ended up moving to Davenport, Iowa, and I owned a condo and we owned a house. We ended up selling both, and I took the money from the condo and I did a 1031 exchange, and I ended up buying 4 duplexes in Iowa.
Boom!
That was my first ever real estate
big investment property. But hold on, I gotta take you guys back because I know the story. I don't know all the details, but I mean, I've listened to him and I've asked him a million questions. So if it was up to me, we'd have 17 different videos of this. But what I remember, what stuck with me, because I was young, irresponsible, and not smart about shit, and these guys were doing it right every single step of the way. What I remember is the sacrifice that you guys were able to make to buy that condo in San Diego. Anybody watching this, to buy anything in California, you gotta sell your kidney on the black market or God knows what. And you guys, a young married couple just out of the service with no money, I was
still in when we bought that condo. I did buy the condo for no money down. I'm going to say that.
Your VA benefit.
Yeah, I got a first-time home buyers program. It was $85,000. But we ended up buying a house in California. I kept the condo and I rented it. But in order to buy the house, we had to come up with a little over $18,000. in 4 months, I believe. So
what did you do to come up with that money? Because sure, we know most people will live paycheck to paycheck in the beginning. There's no way to skin that cat to have any money left over. Like, what did you guys do?
We lived extremely frugally. We knew exactly what our outflow was. We did our budget down to the penny. We knew, we gave ourselves very, very minimal money to go out, literally like $60. We go out to a movie or a dinner or something like that, maybe once a month. And we had a goal. We were focused, and we knew what we had coming in. We knew what we had to make and what we had to save every single month to get to that point. And we made it happen.
That's awesome. So I had a really good thought while you were talking, but yes. So you guys were how old at this point? Like early 20s, right?
Yeah, 23, 24.
All right. So at 23, 24, they had a budget. They lived by their budget. They had a goal and made it happen in 6 months. You guys don't want to know what I was doing at 24. That's why I'm where I am. That's where he is where he's at. And we'll get there. But that's amazing. So you want to accomplish something, set a budget, set a goal, stick to it, and get it done. Don't deviate from it. All right, so you got all this money after you sold both properties in California and San Diego, moved to Iowa, and you bought 4 what?
Duplexes.
4 duplexes.
They were all side by side. They were very nice duplexes. We were still pretty broke. It was they were making money, but if one went empty and I had to do repairs or anything like that, it was pretty scary still not having much money, like depending on that rental income. And when one went vacant, getting the ads out there, getting it re-rented as fast as humanly possible was somewhat stressful. We did all the repairs that I could possibly do by myself, and at that time I did as much as I could.
And that's another awesome thing that I remember when I was talking to them when they were going through that they were doing all the repairs themselves, how you guys stayed up late at night and painted together, getting these units ready. And then, so these were 4 units that were rentals. Did you also buy a home for you guys, or did you live in one of those?
No, we bought a small house for ourselves too.
And so that was the one that I remember you guys telling me that you would be up late painting and you did all the fix up on that house, right? Was that the one, or was that in Tennessee?
There's been so many
probably
now.
Both.
I don't
Yeah.
They all run together now. But,
all right, so you had 4 investment properties, a home that you were living in, and then you lived in Iowa for how long?
3 years.
3 years. I also went to bunk up with him, let me stay with him for 6 months, and then I ran home in the winter. It's a whole nother story. But I always learned something from him. We looked at, I got to walk with him and a lot of the properties that he would go into and see how some people live in some areas, but those would be the great deals for him. But anyway, so you were there for 3 years. During that time, how much did you increase your portfolio or what did you learn? What new strategies did you figure out how to do while you were there for that time?
So I met a few people. I met a real estate agent that introduced me to other people that were doing similar types of strategies that had a lot of investment properties. So surrounding myself with other people that were in the business and were knowledgeable and had the resources that I needed to make it happen was pretty crucial. So one of the things I did early on was not really knowing the market or knowing what people wanted. I would put fake ads out in the newspaper, and I would run an ad that would say something like owner financing houses or rent to own houses, low money down, easy qualifying, call for information. And I would get so many calls, I literally couldn't put the phone down. If I said I got 100 calls a day, I'm not lying. My elbow hurt because I could never, I couldn't hang up one call before the next one came in.
Good problem to have.
And I just took notes on what people were looking for. And I'm looking for a 3-bedroom, 1 or 2 bathroom in this area for, between $650 and $750 a month. For instance, it was pretty common. And you know, I might get $700 to $800 a month. I might get that, but I mean, I figured out very quickly what people wanted or what they needed, what their budgets were. So for me, it was pretty simple to work my way backwards. I've always figured out the end result, and then I work my way backwards, and it just makes it simple. Once I knew my market, I knew what kind of houses I needed to buy, and I knew what I needed to buy them for, what I had to have in them so I can make my margins and make the deals work. I had a plan. I mean, I knew what kind of deals I was wanting for it, and I just went hunting. I started chasing them, and I would write probably 3 to 5 offers a day. I'd write 25 offers probably a week.
And how many of those would you say you'd get? Not
many. I mean, it was sometimes you'd write 25 offers and get no responses, and sometimes you'd write 25 and get 10 responses. You know, we'd go. Sometimes I'd get 1 or 2 houses a week, and sometimes I'd go a month without getting anything.
Yeah.
But in 18 months, I bought over 30 houses.
18 months, 30 houses. Wow. Hold that thought for a second.